Shalom, my friends. This is a quick addendum to my previous video about the prophecy timeline. I got a little bit caught up, I think, with number 1 and number 2, the Psalm 83 war followed by the Ezekiel 38 war. And I got a very cool post, a comment on the video from Deborah Holland, where she says the net chatef should be number 2 because when the walls come down, that's a strong indication that the peace treaty, which is strengthened by the lawless one, is in effect. Very, very, very good point. I think I just got caught up in those two wars and all of the similar comparisons that can be made between the two. But yes, Deborah, you're absolutely right, and I want to make this correction for everybody to pay attention to. Also, I talked to my good friend Scotty Clark. I told you, stay in the other room, man. Anyway, Scotty's been pointing out the timeline in this fashion for, ever since he started, for a long time. And the point is that I would rearrange the timeline from this previous video with just a little correction to look like this. Where number 1, of course, we have the Psalm 83 war. Wow, how exciting. This can occur on any given day at this time. It's about ready to happen. But then number 2 becomes the net chatef. Number 3 becomes the Antichrist, and number 4, the Gog-Magog war. Now, this isn't carved in stone either, but it makes perfect sense. When I was getting into the wars, Psalm 83 war happens. All of the attackers are on common borders with Israel. She defeats them and pushes everybody away. So there you have, this feeling of peace and safety, naturally, because her enemies are just pushed much, much further away from her. However, it is very likely and very possible that, she does that, and great attention. This is going to be historical for Israel to have enlarged her borders so greatly. It's going to cause great alarm in the Middle East, and that could be the trigger where the lawless one is revealed, meaning the net chatef has already happened, the Kodeshim are gone, the Ruach HaKodesh is off the face of the earth. Don't underestimate that, the Ruach restrains evil. The Ruach is going to be removed. Evil is no longer going to be restrained. There's going to be a lot of fear in people's hearts like never known in the entire history of the earth. And darkness is going to be growing. That could cause, this alarm. So the lawless one comes up and says, look, we have this peace treaty. I'm going to strengthen it. And that agreement with many, as it says in Daniel, is maybe the trigger that says, okay, let's bring these walls down. Most crucial point, and sorry I missed it. Maybe Abba Father wanted me to make more of a highlight about it this way. So the adjustment being made. Psalm 83 war, the net chatef, the rapture, that could happen any time. That could happen before the Psalm 83 war. Could happen during the Psalm 83 war. The one thing we are sure of is that it happens before the lawless one is revealed. So number one, Psalm 83, just for the sake of whatever, we'll say the Netkatef is number two. Number three becomes the walls come down and the Antichrist is revealed, the lawless one. Then number four, Gog-Magog war. And from that point forward, nothing changes on my previous video. But I wanted to make this point very clear, my friends, because it's not only exciting, it's hopeful. Like you, I want to go home ASAP. Before I finish this sentence would be great, So that's that. And I love you guys. Thank you for your support. And I will see you with a new video in a couple of days. Shalom, my friends.
Let your kingdom come. Whoa. It's an ancient story that still gets told to those who hear and those who don't, by prophets and trees and things out of the blue. But once that cry has reached your ears, your heart gets filled by what you hear, and what you hear is just the sound